Okay, let's keep going. I want to start with the verses now. The example of the disbelievers not responding to the messenger's warning is like a flock not comprehending the calls and cries of the shepherd. So what happens to the flock when the shepherd is calling them and they don't come? The wolves get them. They're willfully deaf, dumb, and blind, and they have no understanding. And this is my part that I'm adding in, like a lamb, like a sheep that doesn't know where he's going, just hanging out in the woods, ready to get eaten. They don't know what they're doing, so they get themselves lost. None of that part was part of the Quran. That was just me. I'm in a mood. I'm sorry. This is so interesting. 172, 173. O believers, eat from the good things we have provided for you, and give thanks to God if you truly worship him. So one thing that I'm noticing as I go through this, I want to pause, and it's telling you, like, hey, this is the people who don't know what they're doing. From the perspective of God or the Quran, these people don't know what they're doing. They're deaf, dumb, and blind, and willfully. They just don't want to see. But I would beg the question, like, is it actually willfully deaf, dumb, and blind? Because if they don't know they're deaf, dumb, and blind, how could they be willfully deaf, dumb, and blind? Maybe somebody can give me the answer to that, because that doesn't really make sense. How could they be willfully deaf, dumb, and blind if they don't know they're deaf, dumb, and blind? Is it willful then? Like, what is the personal accountability then? But, oh believers, eat from good things we provided for you, and give thanks to God if you truly worship him alone. So it's telling you, like, these people are dumb, deaf, and blind. I'll tell you how not to be dumb, deaf, and blind. Be thankful to God when you eat. Now, how many of us have a full meal? I mean, we talk about this all the time, but how many of us have a full meal in our stomach? You know, my stomach's full right now. How many of us have a full meal in our stomach, and we don't give thanks? We forget to give thanks when we eat. So God is telling you clearly here, give thanks when you eat. Do you guys give thanks when you eat? How do Muslims give thanks when they eat? You know, I was hanging out with one of my Catholic friends, and he did a prayer. It was a cool prayer. He like held my hand. It was like, I never did a Catholic prayer before, but it was all good. I was like, yo, let's explore it. So he held my hand like this, just across the table. I think grab hands. I don't know. And he says something like, God, I thank you for the food that we're about to receive, and I thank you for my friendship, and I thank you for this, and I thank you for that. And I thought that was pretty cool. I wonder how do Muslims pray? Do you guys like pray like before you eat? You could say like you know, like the Christians, they give grace. How do they do it? Maybe you guys can tell me. By the way, I've really been enjoying the insights in the comments. There's so many smart people on here, and I really appreciate it. I really do. Okay, Ayah 173. He has forbidden you to eat carrion. What's carrion? I should look that up. I don't know what carrion is. Is that a bird? Carrion. Blood. Don't drink blood. Swine. Don't have pig. And that is slaughtered in the name of any other than God. But if someone is compelled by necessity, neither driven by desire nor exceeding immediate need, this will not be sinful. Okay. Cool. So if you're hungry, then God will forgive you. But it's, you know, the weird thing is about sin. So the idea, I don't know if you guys know this, but the word sin actually doesn't mean like maybe it doesn't mean evil. I don't think it means evil. It's the word sin that I know, it could be a different word in Arabic. So if you guys can speak the Arabic and give me an understanding of sin, what I know that sin means is to miss the mark in which you aimed for. So imagine you have an aim, right? So imagine you like to play basketball, or maybe you like to play the football, the soccer, you like to play this stuff. So you have an aim, shooting for the aim. So let's just say it's archery. Boom, you have an aim. Okay, you have an aim, you shoot, you miss. That's a sin. But what if you don't have an aim? Your whole life's a sin. Okay, they're willfully dumb, deaf, and blind. So they don't have an aim. Oh, wow. Wow. 171, the example of the disbelievers not responding to the messenger's warning is like a flock not comprehending the calls of the cries of the shepherd. They're like kind of like dizzy. They don't have an aim. They don't have an aim. God is, and that's the straight path, having an aim. So it's the same thing. Now, to sin is you have an aim, so you have the straight path, but you kind of tilt left. That's what a sin is. But what I see it as like eating carrion and eating all this stuff, it's like God is telling you, hey, this is practical advice. This stuff's probably bad for you in one way or another. If it's not bad for the body, like a pig is like eating garbage. I actually don't like to eat pig. I had pepperoni a couple times before, but I don't really like it. It doesn't taste good to me. So I don't really eat pig. And I understand why. It's like a garbage animal. It's a garbage animal, so I'm not really down to eat the pig. Blood is kind of interesting because I know what you can do is you can hold down an animal and you can keep it alive, and you can just kind of like be a vampire and just drink the blood. I know that, you know, the Mongols used to do that when they used to invade different towns. They would drink the blood of their horse to keep them going. So it's like a torturous thing, right? You're kind of torturing your animals, which seems kind of evil. So I feel you on that. This makes sense. And what's been slaughtered other than the name of God? So I guess God is not into the sacrifices. Like, don't sacrifice a cow or something like that in the name of some God, and then eat it and thinking that it's godly. It makes you worse because you're like, I don't know. Why is that bad? Actually, I shouldn't make an argument for that because I don't really know the argument for that. Why is that bad? Is that bad for you, or is it kind of just like worshiping something other than God? Like, how does that work from like an ancient perspective? Is it because like people would sacrifice animals in the name of other gods? But if they sacrifice animals in the name of other god, why would people that believe in God eat it anyways? Seems a little redundant. I don't know. What do you guys think? Does that make sense? I'm sorry, I'm just thinking out loud. But if someone is compelled by necessity, neither driven by desire, so if you need to eat, it won't be a sin. You're not missing the aim, because the aim is to purify your soul, to be on the straight path, so it's not taking you off the straight path. Surely God is all forgiving and most merciful. So saying, don't worry. Your intentions are the thing that's important here. It's interesting to me how it tells you this is what like the dumb people do, and then this is what leads you on the straight path. And it just keeps dripping in like different kind of codes. I'm so interested in like what's next on this book. How much pages do I have left in here? I still have a lot, actually. 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow, like maybe like I have another. I'm 13 pages in. I have another 13 pages. I'm about to double it, and this is I'm like every verse, every like 1 or 2 verses is a video. So looks like we're gonna be together for a long time. I hope you like this video. I'm obviously I'm asking questions about this because I'm curious, but please let me know. Like I wanna get to know like what this really means, because I don't want to just like believe something because somebody told me to believe it. Like I want it to make sense, and so far it seems like practical advice. Thanks for joining me. Goodbye, my friend.